On this week's episode, it's a look at famous hoaxes, like the Alien Autopsy, which was a film that aired on Fox back in 1995, which apparently showed an autopsy being given on an alien from the Roswell crash. There was also The Balloon Boy, where a hot air balloon took off with a kid supposed to be in it. The news channels interrupted programming to show it live. Turns out the kid had been in his basement the whole time. There was also the Cardiff Giant, which was supposed to be a petrified giant that was found on a farm in New York, and folks flocked to see it. P.T. Barnum tried to buy it, but when they refused to sell it to him, he made a fake one. Of course, the Cardiff Giant was fake too. It was made from Jimson, a man who was an atheist, wanted to disprove stories about giants from the Bible. It's been called America's Greatest Hoax. It's now in the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, New York. It's also the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Speaking of baseball, in 1985, Sports Illustrated came up with decided to pull an April Fool's prank on its readers by creating a made-up picture for the New York Mets named Sid Finch. The article was written by George Plimpton, and I saw a 30 for 30 short about it on ESPN+. They even had a Sid Finch Bubble Day a few years ago at the minor league Brooklyn Cyclones game where the man who had been hired to replace Sid Finch came back and signed some autographs. There was the Turk, which was supposed to have been a machine that played chess. Of course, it had a person inside of it. There was a lonely girl, 15. There was a teenage girl talking about her life, but it was really a show on YouTube. One of the first YouTube videos, I think. There was a story of about Justin Bieber having cancer and going bald back in 2012. Of course, he didn't have cancer. There was a story about somebody finding some brass plates that had belonged to a explorer Francis Drake. They found them back in 1936. They were supposed to have been left in 1579 by Drake, and they were featured in textbooks around the world. It was proven to be fake in 1977. They had been created as a practical joke by acquaintances of Herbert Bolton, who was a professor at Cal Berkeley. He thought it was real, and he bought it for the college's library. You expect a professor to be smarter than that, wouldn't you? Journalist H.L. Mencken wrote a fake history of the bathtub. In the 1980 Boston Marathon, Rosie Ruiz won the women's division, but it turned out she never ran the whole race, and she was stripped of the win. Danny Almonte was a kid who pitched a perfect game in the 2001 Little League World Series. Unfortunately, he was 14, and the oldest you can beat up play Little League was 12, or youth baseball. Some areas don't belong to Little League, they belong to youth baseball. I played youth baseball when I was 12. Another sports hoax was the Spanish Paralympic basketball team. They beat Russia 87-63 in the intellectual disability tournament final. However, only 2 players were disabled, and the victory was disallowed. There was a website selling tigers that is still up. There was a Facebook post of Bill Gates giving away money. He wasn't. There was a April Fool's prank about the government saying you couldn't use the internet when you were drunk. Knows where you'll find doing that. Another April Fool's prank had Google shutting down YouTube. There was a fake picture of a shark swimming in the Houston freeway during Hurricane Harvey. I also did see a picture on the internet where apparently a real shark somewhere was spotted swimming on a highway. There was the biography of Nat Tate, who was a fake artist. The biography was written in 1998 to fool the art world. Janet Cook won a Pulitzer Prize for her Washington Post article about a kid on heroin. Turned out the story was fake, and she gave back the Pulitzer. There were 6 flying saucers spotted over England in 1967. That was a prank from students at the Royal Aircraft Establishment. It was part of the college's brag week to raise money for charity. Another incident has been called the British Roswell, where small pieces of metal piece with the hieroglyphics on it was found in Yorkshire back in 1967. There's a fake book of the Bible called the Book of Jasher. There was another April Fool's prank saying that Burger King had invented a Whopper for left-handers. I'm left-handed. That didn't sit well with right-handed eaters. But people still showed up asking for it. There was a story about a female pope. Of course, there's never been a female pope. Another one about a computer predicting 9/11. There have been rumors for years that Elvis Presley was alive. Not only him, but also comedian Andy Kaufman, singer Michael Jackson, rapper Tupac Shakur, singer Jim Morrison, and singer Jimi Hendrix. Unfortunately, they're not still alive. They're all dead. You can still hear their music, though. You can watch Andy Kaufman's been wrestling Jerry Lawler on YouTube. Ironically, on the other side, there have been stories for years that Paul McCartney was dead. Of course, he's still alive. Also, Kiss, this is Gene Simmons, singer Britney Spears, singer Miley Cyrus, singer Garth Brooks, actor Tony Danza, actor-comedian Eddie Murphy, singer Justin Bieber, and singer Dave Matthews, who are supposed to be all dead but are still alive. One you may remember is the Blair Witch Project, which was supposed to have been footage found in 1999 of a trio looking for a witch. But it was actually a movie made by Hollywood. People at a job I was working at back then went and saw it and they thought it was real. It was also a ghost watch, a show that aired on BBC One in 1992 or 93, I believe, which was a fake ghost hunting report on British television. And it was done as a news report, kind of like Orson Welles' War of the Worlds radio show back in 1938. Well, that's all the hoaxes. Right now I'm still reading the book War Stories 2 by Oliver North. I'm on the chapter about the Doolittle raid. You can now hear this on Audible and Amazon Music. Anyway, thank you for listening. Hi, I'm Chris, and thank you for listening to my podcast, The Chris Carlisle Show. The Chris Carlisle Show is available on Spreaker. Please leave a like and a review, and also a follow. It's also available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Podchaser, and Podcast Addict. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.